I'm Lundy Hollenbeck, and welcome to Women Taking on Sports. Here with ESPN Chattanooga 95.3, we talk all things female sports, from athletes, coaches, to even women working in the industry. And today, I have the pleasure of talking to ladies from the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
You are so welcome. Let's just start off by just doing like a roundtable discussion. I'll ask questions and you can just kind of freely talk whenever you feel like it. And if you want to speak right after your friend, just go ahead and do that. So we'll just start over here and just introduce yourself and say what position you play.
Yeah, I'm Becca and I play center back. So I'm also from Canada.
No way. Yeah. That is so cool. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Becca. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Mackenzie Smith. I play attacking mid and center forward.
Okay.
My name's Jada. I play the right wing.
Okay, wonderful. So I have my first question for you all. I'm just curious, was playing amateur soccer your goal in the original beginning of you all playing soccer?
I think so, yeah, definitely. It's just like it's a pathway from college, something that you can do when you're not in the season, and it's just like really fun to be away and with different players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like for me, like when I was growing up, college soccer was always the next step. And so when I was lucky enough to be able to play college soccer in the summers, I was always going to be training. Like that wasn't a question. It was just like, what was that going to look like for me? So having this opportunity was huge because like instead of having to do it by myself, which isn't the same, it's not as fun, you get to be a part of a community that does it, which is so much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the same way. The next step for me was going to be college. I'm a high school student right now. So I'm on Luke's club team, so he kind of like brought me into this, and it's a good way to be with people older than me and kind of learn from them. So.
Yeah, so is Luke your coach?
Yes.
How long have you been playing for Luke?
It's been a while, probably like 4 years.
Okay, that is a long time.
Yeah, with some of the teammates are in the Lady Red Wolves team too, so we kind of like played together for a little
So
bit.
where do you go to high school?
I go to Baylor.
Okay.
Baylor School, yeah.
It's a great school. So you're able to be a high school student and also play in amateur soccer? Is that how it works?
Yes. I'm also doing preseason high school right now, but it's kind of just like balancing both, and it's really good to help me for the high school seasons.
Yeah, so you're definitely double dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting a lot of experience. So I'm curious how long all of you have been playing soccer.
I've been playing since I was 4, which I think is pretty standard.
I started playing when I was 9. Where I'm from, soccer's, it's not as big in Canada. That's kind of why I came to the U.S. to play soccer. And
Just move your microphone.
Okay. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, I've been playing since I was 9. Soccer here is just a lot bigger, and that's why I came to the U.S. for females specifically. So I've been around it for a while as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious how you all got involved in the Red Wolves. Where did that come about?
You want to start?
Okay. So I got involved with the Red Wolves through my college coaches. So I play at University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And so my coach kind of asked like what my plans were for the summer because he knew that I would want to keep playing. Just I didn't know how because I'm from Knoxville. And at that time, there wasn't another team to play in the summer. And so that's when he put me in contact with Luke. And I've loved it ever since. So it's been like ever since then.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add?
I was on the CFC team before, and then Red Wolves came about, and I just went ahead, and our whole club team kind of just moved there. So it was kind of a team movement.
Okay,
so, yeah.
That makes sense, like a lateral movement.
Right.
It's very natural.
Yeah.
So I'm interested that you mentioned CFC. So would y'all consider them as like your rivals?
Not exactly, just because we don't play them.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say they're my rivals for the 2006 team. But for the Lady Red Wolves, no.
Okay. Well, what's the tryout process like? Can anybody just try out and try to be on the team?
Yeah, so it's pretty open. Like we have open tryouts for everyone, and then if people can't make it, like obviously like sending highlights or like talking to the coaches is the way in, or like just knowing someone. So
That's what I did. I wasn't able to come to the tryouts because I was injured, and one of the assistant coaches, I played with her at school, and she was like, there's an opportunity you could come play here in the summer. So then I got in contact with the coaches through that. So that's how I kind of came about on the team.
Okay, perfect. So I understand you all just played Birmingham, and you beat them 2-0. How did that game go?
It was definitely different than any other game we played just because usually our game times are around 7:30, and this one is at 3 o'clock. And the stadium was insane. It was beautiful, but it was also 100 degrees in there. And so it was a challenge from start to finish, but we played well. Like it wasn't ideal, but we got through it. And yeah, we were happy to get a win from there.
Yeah, it was challenging conditions, but we knew that both teams were going to feel tired and feel the heat. So we knew that we just got to play through it.
Well, you are almost on an unbeat streak. So you just lost your first game of the season. Who did you all lose to? Second game. Okay. And who did you lose to?
TSC.
Okay.
So Tennessee Soccer Club. They're just in Franklin. So it was a tough game, I think. But it is what it is.
What was the final score?
2-0.
Okay, that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, almost just like what happened to Birmingham, and then it happened to you guys. But you do play Birmingham again, is that correct?
No, that was our second time.
Oh, okay. So you did play them twice.
Yes.
What happened the first time you played them?
So it was
4-1.
Yeah, we
It was
had
a
good
home
night.
game.
Oh, okay. So speaking of home games, you play all your home matches at the CHI Memorial Field, is that correct? And isn't that a new field?
Yes, it's relatively new. I think it was in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's insane. We're so lucky to have that.
I've heard such good things. So what makes it so much better and bigger than, I guess, of the standard stadium?
I think
Or Finley Stadium, isn't that where the boys play?
So CFC boys will play there, and then our men's team will play at CHI as well.
Okay.
But I think part of it is like when you're playing as a woman in soccer, like a woman in any sports, it's not usual that you get like a stadium. It's usually like you're gonna play on the high schools, like you're gonna play on like the secondary team. So I think with the Red Wolves, it's been so different and like really beautiful the way that they treat us like we're a part of it. And so like we get to be a part of that stadium. Like it's just as much ours as it is theirs. And so that's like, I think that's what it is. It's not the stadium itself. It's like what it means for us that we're not having to go to like the high school teams to play again. Like,
The JV field.
exactly. Like
Got to
we get
clean it up first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we get to see our faces on the big screen. Like that's ours too, which is nice.
I mean, I was just thinking that has to be empowering in a sense to say, oh yeah, this is for us.
Yeah, it's different. Like growing up, like you're like, oh, we'll be on the high school field again, or like let's go to the back alley and play. Like, but here it's like you're just as important. Like women's soccer matters here.
It does, and that kind of leads into my next question. Why do you ladies think it's important to celebrate women in sports?
I think that it's especially soccer, like it's such a popular sport and it's always been such a like male, like everyone watches men's soccer. But I think like lately, like all these paths that are coming out for women in soccer is so important, just especially to show the younger community of like little girls that want to play soccer, like even the ones that are our supporters. Like it's so important to show them that as they grow up, there is something for them that is just as great as men's soccer. And I'm loving to see it, honestly.
So how long have you been in the States?
I've been here. I just finished my my junior year. So I have 2 more years here.
Okay.
I love it. And as I'm here, honestly, I'm seeing like Canada women's soccer develop even more. So it's really exciting for after college. So I think both countries, it's just like, it's really great, honestly.
Did anybody else have anything to add about women in sports?
I will say I feel like sports are so much more than the surface level. So yeah, we're kicking a ball around, and at the end of the day, like that's that. But what sports represent for communities and like when you're growing up is it's an idea. Like you learn how to be, honestly, like a human. Like it's like it gave me so much structure when I was younger. And yeah, I look back and I say, oh, I really wanted to be good at soccer. But like the skills that I learned back then taught me to be a better person. And I think that's what it is. Like sports aren't just sports. They're teaching people as a whole how to be better and like something to strive for, especially for young girls. Like I think you need that structure. I think you need something to achieve and like to learn through sports that if you put your mind to something, no matter how big, no matter how great it is, if you're committed to that decision, you can do absolutely anything you want. And that's so important specifically for women.
I completely agree. Do you have anything extra to add?
Yeah, I just feel like it's an empowering thing, and it's kind of just like leadership and outside of soccer, just like maybe in like jobs or just like different roles in society, just saying that like women can do it.
100%,
Yeah.
yes. And you're learning fundamentals in all aspects of life just by being on a soccer field. Well, do you all feel a sense of pride playing your sport?
Definitely. I especially playing for the Red Wolves, I think it is probably like one of the coolest soccer environments I've ever played in. It feels like super professional. And even coming here, I'm not from Chattanooga, so I come and like when I meet people, I tell them, oh, I'm here playing for the Red Wolves. And they're like, really? Like, no way. That's so cool. So just that there's like the city has this opportunity, I think it's really special. And not every city gets to have like a big stadium with like semi-professional amateur teams. And it's great for people to come and watch. And I feel like really proud to be part of this team and part of the program with the coaches and the players. So
You all should be. It's impressive. And I mean, yes, there's open tryouts that I'm assuming anyone can try out, but not everyone can make it. And I'm assuming not everyone can actually put time on the field. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about what's after playing for Red Wolves. What's your all's goals?
For me, this is really to help me with, high school season. I have that coming up, and then also college as well. I'm going to ETSU.
Are you going to play soccer at ETSU?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
With my sister. It's
that's so special.
Yeah, so it's kind of just to prepare me for that, and it's just a way to go into that ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit different. I'm on the end of my college career, so I got a UTC and I have 1 semester left. So, what I'm looking forward to is, especially with the USLW League, is it's pre-professional. So my plan after I get done is to hopefully go overseas and try to play, and then eventually come back and go to medical school.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I left Canada to come here to play soccer because professional was my goal, 100%. And this summer's been really important to me because I was out for 7 months with an ankle injury. So this summer was really important for me to get back. And I'm actually transferring to a new university in the fall. So this is like really important for me to get back and get on my feet again. But it's really great to be part of something like this because in a couple years, there's going to be a professional program here. So we're in the next 2 years. So it's really great to like get our faces out here and be part of the program.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys back on as professional athletes, and I want to hear all about it. You have no idea. Yes, we'll make that happen. So I'm learning that every single one of you are students. So let's talk a little bit about what it means to you individually to be a student athlete.
I definitely think it's all about the balance. People always say you're a student first.
Mm-hmm.
So that obviously has to come first because there's rules in the classroom. Every team is different, but when you're in the classroom, you have to perform in the classroom and be a good student before you can go on the field. So it teaches you a lot of like life skills and things about time management, and you really have to be responsible and you have to be an adult quickly when you enter college. So I think it's important.
I definitely think that college sports specifically ages you in a way that nothing else can. Like, just because it's a job when you go in, like you're spending up to like 40 hours a week on the field. And it's hard at first because you've grown up and it's been so separate. Like it's been so easy to differentiate between college, or not college, but school and soccer. And then once you get into college, it's like the lines mesh, like they're together, they're intertwined. So like just figuring out when, because you only have so much of yourself. So there's two part or like places that need it. So you can only give so much to one at a time. So just figuring out what weeks you have to put everything into soccer, what weeks you have to put everything into the classroom. It's difficult. It's really difficult, but it's really fun.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as both of them. It's all about balance. And especially at Baylor, it's like a rigorous academic school. And it's kind of just like balancing both, but also knowing like I'm here to be a student and like, go to college and all that stuff. But it helps you for life. Life is a lot of things like scheduling it out and balancing stuff. So it prepares you.
Yes, smart young ladies. You do know.
Yeah.
So what's the trick? How do you balance your schoolwork and also putting time on the field? Because I'm assuming you have a lot of practices you have to attend.
I don't know. I think you just have to do it. Like I'm trying to think how you do it, but I guess when you're in the semester, it's really school, soccer, and you just have to make time for it. Whether you have to be in class on Zoom on the bus on the way to the game, you just have to make time for it. I think that's why this summer is so fun, because in the school year you have to split your time, and in the summer like we can all just play soccer and not worry about school. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's almost like a weight lifted off just for a couple months, and it's almost a little bit more fun, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think it's also down to like planning and then having like a good support system. So like at a lot of schools that I know about, there's like academic staff that helps out, your coaches are there to help you, and your teachers want you to succeed. So like just putting yourself in a place where everyone around you wants you to succeed, and whatever that looks like for you. And then just planning ahead of time. So like just like marking out, okay, like I have to be studying at this time. Like I have to be at practice. That's like non-negotiables. And then just being realistic, like in season, my friends know that like I'm not going to be around, and that's just how it is because that's what I've chosen. And then out season, maybe a little bit more, but just sticking to a plan, going with it, and then surrounding yourself with people who want you to succeed.
Yeah. Once again, we are hanging out with the Lady Red Wolves. I'm Lundy Hollenbeck here on Women Taking on Sports. And my next question for you ladies is, are you involved with the men's team at all? Do y'all practice together? How does that work?
No, we're not really involved with them at all. We would like go watch their games and stuff like that, but practices, it's very separate. Yeah.
Okay. And do you all feel that the women get as much publicity as the men's team? How do y'all feel about that? Let's talk about it.
I think I would say that we get as much publicity. Yes, definitely. I think men's soccer is just like a like people naturally gravitate towards it. And so I think they put as much into us as they do them, which we're really thankful for. But I think right now, like, I do think there's a shift happening, like, where people are going more towards women's soccer. But I think that people do gravitate towards the men, which is natural. It makes sense.
Yeah, I guess they think like a soccer player is a boy, just like they think a dog is a boy. It's the same. It's the same mentality. So hopefully, with having enough airtime talking about women's sports, people will start to shift their mentality about how they view athletes in general. Well, if someone has never been to one of your games, how can they get tickets? How does it work that way?
So it's really easy. You can walk right up and buy your tickets, or you can buy them online, whichever works for you. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
You know, sometimes when it's like, oh, you got to get the app, you have to, get your email with the scan. And some of us old timers are like, can I just not buy them at the door? So you can. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. And all of your home matches are at the CHI Memorial Field, which is Eastridge-ish. Okay. Awesome. And is there anything that y'all want the public to know about your season?
I just think I wanted to thank everyone for the support, because we have a really big support system around here in Chattanooga, and it's so nice to see all these faces at the games. And we have so many families that host so many of us over the summer. So just a thank you to them. It's really important, because we wouldn't be able to live here over the summer if we didn't have anywhere to stay. So I just think we have such a great support system, and I hope it just keeps growing, because it's awesome to have it here.
Yeah, definitely. Just piggybacking off of that, like, the support system that everyone provides, like, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, like, for all of us, and we could not be more grateful. Like, thank you for everyone that shows up, everyone that comments on stuff, they like stuff, they watch our streams. Like, that's the reason we're able to do what we love. So thank you.
Yeah, and we're so close to getting to nationals and, like, ending the season on a high note. So just keep watching, and we thank you for watching our games.
Yes, you all are doing very well, and I think you all will come out with a win this year. Well, my last question for you all is, what can people expect from this season that's going to be different from last season?
We're going to win.
Yeah, I love that immediate response. You go, girl.
And I think part of it is, like, last season, our fate wasn't ours at the end. Like, it was like a waiting game to see how things turned out. I think this season, we're more in charge of our own destiny, and that's how we want it. Like, we want to be the ones that make the decision at the end of it. So it's up to us. It's our responsibility, but it's not a waiting game anymore. Like, it's all dependent on us.
And I'm sure you are playing with fellow teammates that you're playing with another year. So you've got that experience and that camaraderie under your belt that, you get to know one another, and you get to know their ball handling skills, and that you can count on that player, and you can trust each other a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, there's so much to be said about team chemistry, and that's not something that you can just get out there and start. So, like, our first game, I remember us looking at each other like, ooh, this season
no communication,
we were lost.
Nothing.
But then you start hanging out with each other, you start messing around with each other, and then you realize, like, something my college coach says all the time is, like, know your players, like, know what their strengths are. So if there's someone who's, like, really technical, I'm going to give it to their feet. If there's someone who's, like, really fast, I might send them longer. And so the only way to learn that is playing. And so I think we've gotten over that hump, and especially having, like, a year under us, like, some of the core players came back, and then, like, just getting more people on who are so talented to just add on to it and make us a better team.
Exactly. Any final thoughts?
Well, thank you for picking us to come here and, talk about our team. So I'm very thankful for this.
Yes, the first of many, I hope.
Yes, for sure.
Well, that does it for Women Taking on Sports. I'm Lundy Hollendak here on ESPN Chattanooga 95.3.